Welcome everyone in today's session actually. Today I'm going to show you what's the process of IELTS speaking test. So speaking is all about like interaction. It's very important that you satisfy the examiner. This is a very key idea. Nobody talks about it. They talk about vocabulary, pronunciation, coherence, fluency, accuracy, all these things, but they do not talk about this. That is called satisfaction. You have to satisfy the examiner. You'll understand by looking at the eye of the examiner. And the most important thing is that how effectively you can communicate. That's the thing. We are not teaching you anything. Like I'm just guiding you so that you understand. There is an examiner. Examiner will be asking you a lot of questions in the speaking test, and the main target is like it's recorded. How effectively you can communicate. That's the target. Like how many sentences you can make when there is a question. It's not that I'm just all the time checking grammar, checking pronunciation or fluency or accuracy, anything. No, it's not like that. It's like effective communication. Whether in any kind of critical situation, you can convince the person whom you are talking to. That's very, very important here. So take a look at this pattern here. Although it is taken from 2022, but the pattern is same. But one thing is very usual here. Usually, IELTS speaking test takes place for 11 to 15 minutes. But in modern time, in 2024, IELTS is going to take place within 8 to 10 minutes. So timing is getting a little bit less because they want to just assure that you can communicate. They do not want to spend long time in speaking test. Sometimes speakers do not feel comfortable in it, and the examiner becomes tired too. So considering this issue, they are going to take it a little bit less time. So take a look at this. This is the first question all the times. What's your full name? And may I see your ID? Right? Because as you can see, ID number is very important. All the exam centers are not acceptable. And as you understand that there are some people who are creating some issues, like they create fake certificate, fake ID, fake registration, a lot of issues are there. So as a result, like your ID number is very important. Then comes the question, your full name, you should mention your full name. Do not extend any answer. Exactly to the point. Then your ID number, you just mention the ID number exactly. Suppose 2E118556. Never say 2255, not like that. Or you can, instead of 0, you could say O. Right? So take a look at this. Next question is, where are you from? Do you work or study? Very common question. Where are you from? I'm from Bangladesh, or I'm from Dhaka, Chittagong. Any kind of area that you mention. Then do you work or study? Currently I'm a student, I'm studying. Or currently I'm doing both. I'm studying at the same time I'm also working as a part-time job holder in a private organization. You could also say in that way. Then comes the next one. So it's like icebreaker. The examiner is trying to communicate with you with a lot of questions. Do you like watching television, or do you prefer watching content on your laptop? So you could choose any one question. Do not need to answer both. Do you understand? Do you like watching television, or do you prefer watching content on your laptop? So television and laptop, it differs. So you just mention one. Don't be too much intelligent, because or is there. So it means you'll have to choose one question. So choose the easy one, because if you want to answer that watching content on laptop, then critical things will appear, like what kind of content do you watch, do you make contents, there will be so many questions. If you just go with this, do you like watching television? Yes, definitely I like watching television, and watching television gives me a kind of knowledge and pleasure, and it helps me a lot. It helps me a lot to just go through the content quite quickly. Suppose my favorite television program is River Monsters in Animal Planet. And it's amazing because it tells a story that something happened. There was a story I can remember that was very amazing, that someone was passing the river. Suddenly he was attacked by fish and he was spot dead. That was surprising. And later on it was found that it was electric eel, a huge size eel, which just electrified the person and died. It was discovered. So that kind of programs are very interesting to me. Then comes the next one. What kind of shows are popular among young people in your country? There are different types of shows popular. Basically, if I talk about that, like live programs, I mean to say singing competition programs, or many other types of live programs which are telecast in our channels, different channels of Bangladesh. They are popular. You can also mention the sports. Suppose football or cricket, they are also quite popular when there is World Cup or any kind of other cups or national teams play. At that time, people watch these games. What kind of shows are popular in general in your country? Basically, if you talk about in general, then most of the time Bangladeshi drama are quite popular because most of the people like to watch drama. They are unlike Indian TV serials because they are natural. They are far better than the other contents found in other countries. What do you think about competing with one another? Competition. Competing with one another is definitely good, not bad, because you face challenges. You need to upgrade yourself. That's good, but ill competition is very dangerous because you want to create some harm to others in order to win. That is very bad. So I like competition, but competition in a very negative way is definitely unacceptable. What might teachers use competition to encourage their students? Teachers could use different types of games in the class competition, like writing competition, speaking competition. There could be listening competition, or vocab competition, vocabulary word bees could be there. There could be different types of competition in English, and students will be encouraged to perform, and instantly they should be rewarded. Some students who have done well, and all the other students who haven't done well, they will get inspired. So is there such a thing as healthy competition? Healthy competition is something like you compete for the sake of learning, for the sake of success, not for other issues. Not that I want to cause harm. It's not like enemy-like situation. All right. Think about when two countries are playing. If there is a fight for the game, that is not healthy competition. We should fight in the game, not physically. That's the issue. Like healthy competition is definitely very important in every game. Think about Olympic game even. All right. So next part comes to the. Can you pause, please? Next part is all right. So as I was talking about the next part, after this kind of session, the examiner will have some idea about your speaking ability. Then comes the second part. As you can see, describe a time when you visited a live event. In this moment, you will get at least 1 minute to take preparation on some words. You have to take the cue card. You have got no option. You'll choose the cue card. This is the cue card topic. Describe a time when you visited a live event. Correct? Suppose it could be like watching a musical show, a popular singer is singing, or it could be a game in the stadium. You're watching it directly. That could be one of the events. So you should say what kind of event it was, who did you go with, and what was your overall experience. That's very important. You'll get 1 to 2 minutes to talk. The examiner will not interfere. He will just observe you and your voice will be recorded. That's very important part. And this is the most significant part in scoring. So how do you speak naturally? That was like found. and discovered. So when you start, you have to be very careful. Well, thank you very much. It's a nice topic for sure. We'll start like this. Describing a time when I visited a live event. Live event, if I talk about, I can remember that there was a match between, World Cup match in 2012 between Bangladesh and India. And that match was very much delightful for me because I can see all the players in front of me. And that live event gave me a kind of experience where I felt delighted because all the players are playing live whom I saw on television most often. And it was a kind of cricket game, as I mentioned. So my father, my brothers, and some of my cousins went with me in that event. We enjoyed together. In the meantime, we took some food during the breaks. And overall experience was excellent because I was thrilled to see new people and the exquisite stadium that I discovered. It was very much unlike the television. When you watch a match on television and when you watch a match on stadium live, there is a vast difference. You cannot see what is going on, what is happening all the time. Suppose there is a over boundary 6. You will just see that later on when the whole gallery will shout out, then you'll understand. When there is a dot ball or single, at that time you won't be able to understand that what is going on. So things are very different in watching a match on television and in the stadium live. That was a terrific experience for me. I enjoyed because most of the audience in the gallery, they shouted, they cheered up. So many things happened. It was a very amazing experience for me. So if you notice me, I at least spoke for 1 minute consistently. And I tried to capture the attention of the examiner when I was talking. Can you pause? All right. So take a look at the part 3. So after part 1, introductory discussion, the second one is cue card, and the third part is discussion. It means the examiner will try to just finalize the score. He will wrap up things. He will be confirmed. So these are the different types of related questions that is connected to the previous discussion, could be, or it could be related ideas. What kind of jobs have a high level of competition? So you would definitely mention Bangladesh. Bangladesh has got like high level of competition with the first class jobs that is offered by Bangladesh Civil Service, PSC, Public Service Committee, that is there. So like BCS jobs, and if you talk about some other government high official jobs, those jobs have got high competition. And also if you think about non-government organization jobs, suppose UNHCR, UNDP, and then IOM, then World Health Organization, those high-level jobs are also highly competitive because they will offer you only 4 posts or 3 posts or 1 post, and there will be 20, 40, 50 or more than that competitors. And in case of BCS, you can see only 2,000 people were selected out of 8 lakh or 4 lakh. That was the high-level competitions. What kind of factors would make someone less competitive? There are some factors like if you have lack of information. Number 1, lack of information. You don't have enough information regarding what to do and what are you going to answer. If you miss that, 50% candidates will be gone. And so another thing is that providing a kind of personal profile, proper profile in the interview board, presenting yourself properly is very challenging, and that also makes 50 other percent people to get out of the job. So these two things are like make the candidates or someone less competitive if you are not ready with your profile and information. Are schools and younger people far more competitive nowadays? Definitely, schools and younger people are far more competitive. If you think someone who completed masters from National University, I'm sure that he didn't attend any class, most of him, in honors and masters. But if you go to high school students, they are attending regular classes. At the same time, they are going through so many class tests, presentations, quiz tests, so many tests. So if this student who completed his master's and another student who completed his grade 8 or 9, if you ask parallel questions, most often the candidate who completed master's, he will be failed, like he will fail in the test in comparison to the other students. Basically, I'm talking about vocabulary, English words, or some current issues. He might fail. There could be some issues. There could be exceptions too. What are some benefits of training a sports person early on compared to starting training at a later age? So if you notice this question, very tricky question. Training a sports person early on compared to starting training at a later age. Think, if this training is provided to a young person like you, right? I can see Helal, Samir is there, Sharek is there, they are young. If you're a sports person, athlete, runner, all right, or any kind of Olympic game you are going to participate and you are trained early age, you'll be fluent, very smooth in doing the thing properly. On the other hand, if you are trained later age, you might be experienced, but the thing is that your body may not support you properly and you will not be up to the mark to the world-class level. That's the difference. Then comes the last question. As you can see, some people say competition is unfair as it's hard to compare each other. What do you think about this? So competition is unfair is not the real case. The thing is that whether your mindset is ready to compete, and do you have the trust with the authority? If you do not trust from the beginning, before you just start your competition, if you do not have the trust, so you are already failed here. 50% is gone. And in the competition, you have already low motivation and you will fail. But if you find that competition is fair, in that case, you could definitely do well. Suppose if you think that, yeah, the authority will select with a fair candidates. So I will try my level best. Whatever happens, I don't know. I'll try. That in that case, it could be fair. So it depends on the situation and context. You cannot say that this is all the times fair or this is all the times unfair. You cannot say something like this. So that's it. As you can see, this is the end of the questions, and the examiner will say thank you very much for your conversation. It was a good time having with you. Thank you.